Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Shivani
Hare
Mataji, we
Ram.
can start.
Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhueva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Samast Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Namacharya Das Thakur Ji ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Good morning, dear devotees. I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for this mid-morning session. Thank you for joining and giving me beautiful association. This is Shivani from Nashville, Virginia. Let us move to the next part of the session. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace, Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be enlightening us on 18 Rasyas of Ramayana. This will be session 8. May I know who will have joined this morning?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association on a regular basis. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashmati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago, and very nice. Thank you Mataji for recitation of Bhagavad Gita chapter 12. Pravina Mataji.
Hare Krishna Yashmati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. All glories to your services. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandal pranams to you and all the devotees here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Sumi Mataji, thank you for joining and giving a beautiful association and joining regularly from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shashna Prabhupada, this is Sri Devi Dasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you Mataji for your warm welcoming, and thank you Pravina Mataji for that beautiful chanting of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Preeti Vilasni Mataji, thank you for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. All glories to your services. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirti Desundri.
Hare Krishna Kirti Sundari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining and giving me a beautiful association this morning. All glories to your services, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, I welcome you all for joining this mid-morning session. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada Ji. A fish, when it is put into the land, it is unhappy or death. Similarly, if you, the creature of the land, if you are put into the water, you are unhappy and death. So because we belong to the spiritual nature, so long we shall remain in this material nature, we must be unhappy. Vrindavan, August 2nd, 1974. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Prabhuji will be enlightening us on 18 Rasyas of Ramayana, session 8. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful So Ashish, a valuable time this morning. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. At the outset, my humble obeisances unto the dust of the lotus feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis. I am very fortunate to be speaking about the 18 secrets of Ramayana. And today we are talking about session number 8. So before I start, I would like to pay my humble obeisances unto all the acharyas, all the assembled Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, thank them for their presence, and also pray for my purification, and also pray for strength so that the words that we are going to speak today, that is suitable to kindle the bhakti in the hearts of the dear devotees, and it is able to churn the beautiful rasas of devotion in the hearts of the devotees. So for that, I am very weak, so I need all your prayers, all your blessings. So with that, with Manglacharan, we would like to start today's session. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते सप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री राम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरान्ने सुग्रीवमित्रं परमं पवित्रं सीताकलत्रं नवमेव गात्रं कारुण्यपात्रं शतपत्रनेत्रं श्रीरामचन्द्रं सततं नमामि मन्दारमालां वचनेरसालां गुणर्विशालां कृतपस्तदालां कृपाद्यकालां सुरलोकपालां श्रीरामचन्द्रं सततं नमामि I welcome each and everyone to this session of discussing about the 18 secrets of Ramayana. We all have heard about the great text written by Valmiki, who is sometimes known as the Adi Kavi, or the first poet, or the one who has compiled the great Kavya called as Ramayana. Valmiki is one of those greatest poets who has enabled the Vedas, the book of knowledge, to be itself available in this world through the face of Ramayana. The Vedas are available in this world to describe about the glories of the Lord Ramchandra. We all know the shloka, Veda Vedye Pare Pumsi Jate Dasharatatmaje Vedat Achirvatasit Sakshat Ramayanatmana. So we have all heard about this shloka where the Vedas personified would like to always glorify the Lord. And just like the Lord himself, the Supreme Lord, has taken birth in the form of the son of Dasharatha in Ayodhya, the Vedas also wanted to be in this world, and they came as a child of Valmiki known as Valmiki Ramayana. And this book, Valmiki Ramayana, has been our source book, has been our guidebook to learn about these 18 secrets of Ramayana. Why do we take Valmiki Ramayana as the source book? The very reason that there are many, many millions of editions and translations of Ramayana, but Valmiki's Ramayana is the inspiration, has been the main inspiration for all other works. So, all our acharyas, be it in the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya or be it in any other Vaishnava Sampradaya, they always look towards, they pivot towards Valmiki Ramayana as one of the source, the original, authentic source. So there is often a question which is in the mind that are the other sources incorrect? Are the other sources figment of imagination? Or are the other sources that we have or different translations of Ramayana, just like Kamba Ramayana, Adhyatma Ramayana by Eഴുത്തച്ഛൻ in Kerala, or there are very many sources of Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas, and many others, which is very famous. In Orissa, there is a different Ramayana which is famous. Are these all figment of imaginations? The answer is no. While the Vaishnava treaty or the treatise or the byproducts or the real works of art written by the Vaishnava saints, they are very few in number when it comes to the authentic commentary that we look into. There are many who have written commentaries on Ramayana, but there are some commentaries which are in line with the Vaishnava theology that we try to speak. So, like the Kamban Ramayana is also considered genuine and it is favorable to one's practice of bhakti. So, similarly, we have Ramcharitmanas, which is very popular in the northern belt of India, and many people know the verses by heart. And at many places, there are mentions of how the servitude attitude of Rama Bhakti is favorable in a Vaishnava's life. So, we would try to see in our sessions how we can bring about the best of the meanings from some of those texts and commentaries which are favorable to our Vaishnavite understanding. Most popular amongst those are one of the two commentaries, which is of Govinda Raja and also of Maheshwara Tirtha. So these two commentaries are very much in line with the Vaishnava theology or the Vaishnava philosophy. So we are heavily banking upon Valmiki Ramayana, Kamba Ramayana to understand these 18 secrets of Ramayana. Why should we understand this? Because before we study any scripture, we should understand the syllabus through which we are trying to understand that book. Before we study any subject, we should understand the syllabus of how we are trying to learn about that subject. So hence our subject is about Lord Ramchandra, is about Mother Sita, is about the beautiful characters associated with Lord Rama and Sita. And they are given the light or they have been showcased through the works of Valmiki Ramayana and many other commentaries given by acharyas, which are in line with the Vaishnava philosophy. But it is not only necessary that we understand the syllabus. Many times in our schools and colleges, we all know the standard for which we are studying. We might be studying for the 8th standard, 9th standard. We also know the syllabus that we are supposed to study. But in between both of this, between our success and the syllabus, which will give us success, we need somebody. Who is that? One who is expert in this syllabus. One who is expert in the subject. When that person, be it he or she, educates us about that syllabus and that subject, then only we become knowledgeable about the subject matter. In simple words, we need a guru, we need a spiritual master, we need our acharyas who has to further dumb it down for us to understand the greatest tenets of these chapters on Ramayana. So that is why we all know that how these 18 secrets came into place. And this is a conversation between two great personalities. So you have all been there for 8 sessions. Today there will be not much of presentations, but it is much of reflections from the past and looking at a couple of secrets. But we all know the conversation, how we got these 18 secrets. So this is a conversation between which two entities? Who are the two entities we are talking about? Anybody would like to say? Who has revealed these 18 secrets? Whose conversation we are referencing to learn the 18 secrets?
Shaila Purna and Ramanujacharya.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Mataji is right. We are talking about Sri Shaila Purna and Ramanujacharya, both coming in the Vaishnava tradition, and Sri Shaila Purna being the maternal uncle of Ramanujacharya. So this conversation, Ramanujacharya heard not once, not twice. Like he heard these 18 secrets over 18 different times. Imagine a great personality like Anantadev, whose incarnation is Ramanujacharya. Lord Ananta, through his thousands and thousands and millions of hoods, is constantly reciting about the Lord's glories. And it is said that he is still not able to recite completely about the Lord's glories. Hari Anant, Hari Katha Anant. Hari Anant, Hari Katha Ananta, it is said. So Hari Anant means the glories of the Supreme Lord is infinite. One cannot count. It is immeasurable. And similarly, the glories to be described by the millions of hoods by Ananta, that is also never ending because it keeps on going. Such a personality for time immemorial has been describing about the Lord's glories, is now sitting in front of Sri Shaila Purna as Ramanujacharya and is saying, I do not know these meanings. Please tell me. Please educate me that 18 different secrets which is in Ramayana. This is a great science. This is a great education of humility. That to learn about a difficult subject matter, one has to approach the spiritual master. One has to fall in the lines of the sampradaya. One has to follow a devotee and one has to learn from a devotee. And this is the supreme way by which we will try to understand. Because a spiritual master is absolutely necessary for us to showcase the real tenets and understanding of the subject matter. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, till the verse 2.6, Arjuna is mentioning about his incapability to fight in the war. But when we switch on to the verse, second chapter, 7th verse, or from the 2.6 itself, he says that how I am completely vulnerable, how the miserly weakness has come upon me, and hence I would like to become your disciple. And please educate me, Krishna. And then there is a transformation. There is a visual transformation and there is an internal transformation. What is the visual transformation? The visual transformation is the person who was standing and the person who was sitting. The person who was standing was Arjuna, and the person who was sitting was as a simple chariot driver of Partha Sarathi Krishna. The Supreme Lord, he was sitting and Arjuna was standing and giving instructions. But after that verse, the entire visual transformation took place. Krishna began to stand up and instruct, and Arjuna, with folded hands, started to listen. It is a great learning for all of us that we might be of a certain position, but knowledge does not acquire a certain position which is lower or higher. The highest position is always of the person who can give us spiritual knowledge. And that personality is Guru, spiritual master. Hence, in every Bhagavad Gita, when we actually pick up the book, on the title page, on the front cover, what is the picture we have? We do not have Arjuna on the top and Krishna below. We have Krishna giving the knowledge. And sometimes after giving this knowledge, we might see the photograph where Arjuna is going to shoot an arrow and Krishna is riding the chariot, which is also showing a visual transformation that post the Gita's knowledge, through the wisdom of the Acharya's words, one is able to achieve their vision of shooting their targets. So it is through the enablement of the spiritual master's words that one is able to achieve their end target. Similarly, Ramanujacharya sat down and wanted to hear the glories of Ramayana 18 times, and he went through the beautiful 18 secrets. And we have been talking about these 18 secrets, which is coming up in front of your eyes. And we have been talking extensively about these 18 different secrets. Just a quick recap. Out of these 18 secrets, the first 6 that we are learning are the ones where a devotee should understand what are the prerequisites that they should know while they surrender. An absolute novice, he should know that he should understand the essence of all the Vedas, which is called Vidya Sarvapi. And Vedas have got different angas, and in each of those angas are mentioned in Ramayana. While he is following Vedas, showing interest in Vedas, he should stay away from irregular explanations about the scriptures, which is mentioned as Bahya Tyajanam, the second one. And he, by doing that constantly, his faith in the scriptures will grow, and he will learn that in the scriptures he has all the essence of good dharma. He will learn about honesty, truthfulness. He will learn about how dharmo rakshati rakshata, how by practicing dharma one can protect oneself, how charity, kindness, and all these good activities are helpful. And as he picks up these wonderful qualities, he will understand the spiritual definitions, adhyatma artha. He will understand the spiritual definitions and values and meanings on the spiritual paradigm. As he or she discovers about this spiritual paradigm of meanings while maintaining all the good essence of dharma and staying away from irregular explanations and following Vedic principles very strongly, one will understand finally the 5 truths of life. Who is to be attained, how it is to be attained, who is the object, and what is the result. And all of these are mentioned in the 5 esoteric truths. But once knowing these truths, one will also know which is the supreme truth, Raghupati Paratvam, the supreme goal. So these first 6 which you see in blue are the ones a devotee should understand as the prerequisites of surrender. Before falling at the feet of the Lord, one should understand that these 6 are the prerequisites. One should have this. But once a person develops up to step number 6, naturally he will fall at the feet of the Lord and surrender. And this surrender, he will understand that to surrender unto the Lord is pumartaha, the ultimate aim of man. And we all know in our sampradaya how attaining the pure love of Godhead, prema pumarto mahan, given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the ultimate aim of a living entity, to develop loving relationship with the Lord. But how can he develop that? In the Sri Sampradaya, Ramanujacharya heard that being a servant of the Lord is the greatest mechanism, is the greatest pedestal by which one can deploy or one can showcase his or her devotion. But the higher form of that we learned from Bharata, that how one has to be dependent upon the Lord. Constantly execution of service is great, but one who is absolutely dependent upon the Lord, known as Paratantriyam, is very, very important. And in that mood, one always follows in the footsteps of Shatrughna, who is like the servant of the servant. Tat avadihi. But all these examples are great, and that is where we are today at secret number 12, which we are going to speak about, which is called as Agatitvam. No other refuge than Lord. Having all these qualities from 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 is good, but 12 is the one which is holding all these above secrets, all these above tattvas. What is that? That if we fall at the lotus feet of the Lord, it will be only the Lord Himself. We will not fall at the lotus feet of anybody else. Many people have this misunderstanding. And what is the misunderstanding they have? They feel that they have to surrender to multiple personalities. First and foremost, surrender happens once. If a person is capable, then one surrender is enough. Just like if somebody is chasing us on the road and we are feeling threatened to our life, then we will go to the police and we will surrender and say that, please help us, please rescue us. But if the police says, don't come here to the police station, go 20 kilometers away, there is another police station, go and fall there, maybe they can protect you. Then we understand that the first place where we surrendered is not capable of giving us shelter, giving us refuge. And then we run 20 kilometers ahead and we find another police station where they say, oh, it is not here. You go to the court of law. Maybe in the court of law, you will get refuge. Then the person goes and knocks on the door of court of law. But the law says, not in this courtroom. You go to the higher court. Maybe there you will get refuge. Like this, if the person who wants shelter or who wants protection from the onslaught of the dangers of material life, if that person needs protection and is going from one pillar to post, he is going to each and every place, this is not called as effective surrender. Effective surrender needs two entities. One, a sincere heart of prayer with all these prerequisites and following up to the 11th secret, all these tenets. One has to really fall at the feet of the Lord sincerely. And second, the most important factor for the Sharanagati or the surrender to be effective is that the person to whom we are surrendering should be capable enough of protecting us. And this is what we learn in Agatitvam. We should have the firm belief that when we fall at the lotus feet of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when we fall at the feet of Lord Ramchandra, that is the final destination. We don't have to fall at anybody else's feet. Our prayers' ultimate destination is the lotus feet of Lord Ramchandra. We have no other place to go. It is the final doors that we knock on and fall at the feet. And in Ramayana, Ramanujacharya asked this question to Sri Shaila Purna, where in Ramayana can I see this? Where in Ramayana can I see that it is Lord Ram who is the ultimate refuge? And Sri Shaila Purna gave a very beautiful explanation. Sri Shaila Purna mentioned about how Lord Ramchandra himself depicted the quality of Sharanagata. He mentioned about how Lord Ramchandra, he took a lot of darpa. Darpa means kusha grass, and he spread it on the ocean floor, not on the ocean floor, by the shore of the ocean, and he slept over the kusha grass or the darpa, known as the Darpa Shayana Rama, that he lied down on the grass waiting for whom? The ocean lord, Varuna, Sagara. He was waiting for the Lord of the seas to appear. But why was Lord Ramchandra waiting for the Lord of the seas? Because just before that incident of lying down at the ocean shore, Vibhishana had completely surrendered unto Lord Ramchandra and said that I have come from my brother's camp and now I would like to be in your camp. And what would I like to do? Sheshatvam, I would like to be like a servant of yours. Ramchandra said, okay, very much welcome. After all the Vibhishana Sharanagati, he coronated Vibhishana, gave him the kingdom of Lanka. Before he even stepped foot on Lanka, Vibhishana was coronated. And then immediately the trust on Vibhishana was showcased. And this is a great learning by what Lord Ramchandra showcases us. A person from the enemy camp is coming and falling at the feet of Lord Ramchandra, and everybody said, please don't take him. Still, Lord Ramchandra took him because he completely surrendered. And when somebody asked, Ramchandra, why did you really take him? Okay, I understood you gave the vrata, you gave the vow, you gave that anybody who falls at my feet, you will take them. But please tell me this, why did you really take him? Ramchandra gave a very beautiful answer. He said, in the past, all those who have surrendered unto me, it is my duty to actually go to them and offer protection. For example, when Gajendra was in difficulty and when he raised his trunk and called out to me as Narayana, immediately I had to come in front of Gajendra and appeared and cut off the head of the crocodile. And why the crocodile? Because the crocodile was the most intelligent creature. He was holding the feet of a devotee. The crocodile knew that if the Lord appeared, first darshan he would have. And the first action would be on him. The first deliverance would be his, not of Gajendra, because Gajendra is a devotee, but who is holding the leg of a devotee is none other than the crocodile. So the Sudarshana cut off the head and delivered the crocodile. And then Gajendra was given due attention, care by the Lord. The bleeding feet of Gajendra was taken and kept on the Lord's lap. The Lord took his Angavastra, which was falling down when he came in a hurry from Vaikunta. He took that. He blew into that Angavastra, created the warmth, and touched on the wounds of Gajendra so that the blood does not profusely flow. In this way, like how a mother would take care of a child who has bruised his forehead and have got a bump, similarly on the feet there was these gashes of wounds, and Vishnu was taking care, Narayana was taking care by blowing into the uttari and keeping it on Gajendra's feet. Ramchandra mentions that I had to go to him. So the Acharya's comment there, writing that Ramchandra is hinting that the Lord's duty is somebody who is surrendering. The Lord has to go to the person who is needing attention. If somebody is asking for refuge, we cannot say, you first come after traveling 600 kilometers, knock on my door, come into my house, then offer your surrender, then I will help. No, a person in need we need to reach out to that person. This is also a great lesson and learning for the community. Amongst the community of devotees, there are many who are practicing Krishna consciousness, but they might need care, attention, or they might need help. Hence, it is the role of the community leaders to reach out, which is what we call as devotee care. We reach out at times of distress. We reach out at times of need, not that the other way around, that we wait till they ask for the help. Till that time, if we wait for that, then the distress factor is at the highest. We have not done our duty. Our duty is to reach out to the devotees. That is devotee care. Outreach, ensure that there is sufficient care, and retain. These three things are required in a very good movement of Krishna consciousness. If we only focus on reaching out to the large masses of audience, then we are very successful in reaching out. But what about devotee care and retaining of devotees? These two are also very important. So we need to reach out to each and every individual soul, like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has requested, but we should also ensure that they are taken care of. And that will help us, help the devotees to retain within the communities along with their personal sadhana. It will help us to retain the devotees. So Rama said, I had to go and help. What about Prahlad Maharaj? When he called, I had to be present as Narsinga Dev and help. When he called out, saying that I am there in every pillar, what to speak about every pillar? I am there in every atom of this universe. Ano Raniyan, Mahato Mahiyan, as Ishopanishad says, I am there in every single atom. I was there, I was present there. And I had to reach out to that palace, inside the palace, that very room where Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad were speaking, and Prahlad was being tormented by Hiranyakashipu. And when he struck the pillar, there I was, Bhukhantam Varanandam Paravaraviratam Dhampadam Porudampam. I was present there, coming out of the pillar. Within a flash, I was present. So, like this, it is my duty to reach out to my devotee. Then the devotee asked, but Lord Ramchandra, why are you mentioning all of this? What is the understanding? I'm asking, but why did you give this Sharanagati to Vibhishana? He said, what to do? It was my duty. If somebody says surrender, I should reach out to him. But here the case was ulta. Here the case was opposite. The person who is going to surrender, he is coming all the way from Lanka and coming to me. This is 2 steps ahead a devotee has taken. A devotee just has to say that I am surrendering unto you, the Lord, and the Lord will appear there and offer the refuge. But here the devotee himself is saying, I surrender unto you, and is traveling all the way. It's like saying a person is traveling all the way from material world and reaching the spiritual world and saying, please offer me refuge under your lotus feet. If a person has already made this trip, how can I say no? There is no chance I can say no. So I'm very indebted to Vibhishana. I'm very indebted to Vibhishana that he has executed this great surrender. And hence, because he took all the effort and reached out to me, whereas it is my duty to reach out to the devotee in need, he has already reached out to me. So before even I step into his kingdom, let me give what he wants. Let me give him the kingdom. That's why I'm giving him Lanka right now, right here. And our Acharyas say it is like the Lord felt bad. I have not given you anything. You have taken so much effort. You are not supposed to take so much of effort. I'm supposed to give you. So whatever you desire, let me give you back. Like a compensation. The Lord is saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you came all the way. I am not, you are not supposed to come all the way. I am supposed to come. But you made this ordeal, this biggest trip. So please take this kingdom. And still the Lord felt bad. The Lord felt he should have not made the trip. I should have actually reached out to Vibhishana. But Vibhishana says, it's all right, my dear Lord. Finally, you have given your shelter, and I have no other refuge other than you. If I stayed back in Lanka, I would have felt the sword of Chandrahasta on my neck, and my head would have been chopped off by my elder brother. But instead of getting killed by my elder brother, I thought, let me be punished by you, and hence I will be delivered, because whatever activity you do, O my Lord, that is always glorious for the devotees. So that is why I came. So the Lord felt much more, he felt a lot of happiness in his heart towards Vibhishana. And still others were having this notion in the heart, thinking that, is Vibhishana good? Will he do good for us? The Lord has accepted him out of the kind heart. But now we have a great ocean in front of us. How do we cross? And when everybody had this question, Lord Ramchandra mentioned that why don't we ask Vibhishana himself? Because he just made the trip from the other side. The person who has solved the mystery that we are trying to solve, let us ask the way from him. He is the one who has crossed over the ocean. Of course, he was in the Rakshasa Kula, the Asura Kula. And he knew the art of flying. So he flew over the ocean and came. But we cannot fly. So hence, we need to find a way. So what should we do? So Lord Ramchandra in Valmiki Ramayana, he goes and asks Vibhishana this question. And Vibhishana is still reeling from the effect of the Sharanagati. He feels what wonderful thing is this surrendering unto the Lord. He is constantly, whomever he meets, he's speaking the same philosophy. For anything, any question they ask, he is giving this as an answer, that please do Sharanagati. How? Just like a new doctor. Sometimes there is a doctor who is very new to his practice. He's a recent MBBS person. He has got a degree which is very recent, fresh out of college. So when he initially runs his practice and a patient comes and knocks on his door, the patient has to be given a medicine for the cure of the disease. And sometimes what happens when you are a new doctor, you try various different medicines. And it so happens that one of the medicine clicks. And when one of the medicine clicks and there is a positive response from the patient, the doctor notes it in his notebook that any such symptom or any of the symptoms of any disease, this medicine works. So initially what he's thinking is that, okay, if anybody else walks through that door, I will give them this medicine because I know for sure it works. So just like a new doctor who has found that his medicine works or this treatment works, will apply that on every single patient. Vibhishana is also doing the same. So when Ramchandra came and asked Vibhishana, now you are my ally. Now you are very intimate devotee of mine. Why don't you tell me how do I cross the ocean? And Vibhishana cannot think of anything else apart from surrender. Because it has worked. It has worked on him. He just came from there and surrendered and it worked on him. So he said, Rama, the only way you can cross the ocean is by surrendering. And Lord Rama was laughing. Now Vibhishana is like that doctor who is applying the same working phenomenon on every single thing that he is doing. Rama said, whom should I surrender to? He said, why don't you surrender to the ocean Lord himself? When you surrender unto the ocean Lord will give permission. So please pray to him. So the Lord lied down. After praying sufficiently, he was waiting for the Lord of the seas to be present in front of him. He was lying down on the shore of this great ocean. Till date, there is a very beautiful temple near Rameshwaram, which has the same tree, the Ashwatha tree, and it's called Tirupullani, a very beautiful temple. If anybody is going to Rameshwaram, they should go and take a visit of this beautiful temple where Lord Ramchandra is lying down on Dharpa Shayana. That means the Lord is actually lying down. He doesn't have a pillow. The pillow are his hands. He is keeping his hand as a pillow. Lakshmana is just sitting next to Lord Ramchandra, waiting when the ocean Lord will come. He's really thinking, what kind of a servant is Ocean Lord? If it was me, I would have been appearing right at this minute to serve my elder brother. But the Ocean Lord is not appearing for 3 days, 3 nights. So the Lord is actually lying down and he is getting furious. Furious on the Ocean Lord. That why is he not appearing? And he was not appearing. The Ocean Lord did not arrive. So in that temple, you can see there is a great banyan tree as well. That banyan Ashoka or Ashwatha tree, if I am not wrong. So it is a great tree. And it is the same place where Dasharatha Maharaj did the Putra Kameshti Yajna. So if anybody is going to Rameshwaram, they should take darshan of this beautiful deity of Darpa Shayana Rama. It is mentioned that unless and until one takes the darshan of this particular deities, one's entire 108 Divyadeshams, if one is trying to visit, it is not complete unless and until one takes darshan here. It is also mentioned that the Pushpak Viman, while coming back to Ayodhya, stopped at this temple for some time, where Lord Ramchandra said to Mother Sita, said, this is the place where I was lying down and waiting for you. And there is a beautiful shrine of Sita Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, all giving darshan. And this shrine of Lord Ramchandra lying down, the eyes of the Lord are very beautiful to see in this temple. And the temple, we see that Lord Ramchandra's eyes are not the one which is absolutely bestowing mercy upon the devotees. In fact, it is very furious and angry. In fact, it is very difficult to see the lordships lying down, but he is angrily looking, who is the person who is coming to me? Because he is looking forward to see the Ocean Lord to be in front of him. And finally, when the Ocean Lord did not appear, he was not ready to come. What did Lord Ramchandra say? He said, Chapamane Saumitre, please bring the bow and the arrow. Please bring it right in front of me right now. And Lakshmana acted as if he did not hear a word. And Lord Ramchandra's voice increased a little and he said, Chapamane Saumitre, today is the time I have to punish this ocean, the Lord of the ocean. I'm waiting for him and I'm praying to him and he is not appearing. At this very point of time, the surrender had failed. This was the failure of surrender. And this is where the Lord Ramchandra is showcasing that if one does not surrender to the person who is capable, then the surrender will fail. So who is surrendering here? Ramachandra. He is surrendering to whom? The Ocean Lord. This failed. Why? Because it has to be the reverse. The source of all good qualities, the real ocean of all virtues is Lord Ramchandra. And the Jiva is none other than the Ocean Lord. So when the Ocean Lord has to surrender, he has to surrender under the feet of Lord Ramchandra. When the role was reversed, it will fail. So at that point of time, Lord Ramchandra wanted to depict that Vibhishana, you might have suggested this, but please also know the truth behind this, that surrender will only work if one believes the ultimate refuge is Agatitvam, the 12th secret, that one has to surrender only unto the Lord, the Supreme Lord. When one surrenders unto the Supreme Lord, falls at his feet and accepts there is no other refuge, then that surrender, that Sharanagati is successful. So Rama said to Lakshmana, he is not appearing in front of me. This surrender seems to be a failure. Chapamane Saumitre. Lakshmana doesn't even act on the instruction. Out of the many years that Lakshmana has served Lord Ramchandra, this is the first time that he says, I have not even, he enacts in a way that he has not even heard the instruction. Then Rama increases his voice. Chapamane Saumitre, please bring me my bow and arrow. Now he has spoken loud enough that Lakshmana knew that my brother is angry. And Lakshmana knows this very well. Because Lakshmana is the first person in a battle. If you tell him don't get angry, he will get angry. He's the angry young man. But Lakshmana right now knew that Lord Rama's anger is really at the ultimate level. And he was instructed, bring my bow, bring my Gotanda, the great Gotanda, and bring my arrows, the sharpest of the arrows. I'm going to shoot at this ocean lord. Because he is not appearing in front of me. What did Lakshmana do? He brought the bow and arrow. But this time when he brought the bow and arrow, he brought the most smallest of the bows that he could find. In fact, he took some twigs, he took some twines, made the most smallest, dwarfest bow that he can find. He made it and gave it to Ramchandra. Ramchandra, you want the bow? Please take it here. And Ramchandra was looking, what is this miniature bow? He increased his voice. He said, Lakshmana, don't play a fool with me. Chapamane Saumitre, please bring my bow and arrow. What are this? Bring my arrows, the sharpest ones. He started picking up twigs which were lying down on the ground, started sharpening them, but it was still blunt. Even if it hits someone, it will not even make any bruise or a scratch even. He brought such kind of arrows which are tiny twigs and gave it to Lord Ramchandra. Here are your arrows, the sharpest ones. Here is your bow. Rama was absolutely furious. Here is a servant who is disobeying my order. First of all, we are getting a disobedience from the ocean lord. He is not appearing. I want to cross over the ocean. I want to ask his permission. In fact, I am the supreme lord. I can just cross over. I help everybody cross over the material ocean. And I can just walk over this ocean. But still, because Vibhishna, my devotee, suggested, I wanted to ask the permission. Now I don't need any permission. Now my patience has been tested. And while I wanted to punish for disobedience, look at my own brother. He is also disobeying me. He is also not giving me these bows and arrows. Now here our acharyas comment why and what was the reason for Lakshmana to do this. And this is how a devotee should think. And this is the other aspect where Lakshmana is teaching Vibhishana very nicely, that you can give suggestions, but that suggestions have to be in line with the Shastras. You cannot give suggestions which are opposite to the Shastras. So Vibhishana gave a suggestion because that surrender worked for him does not mean he can give the same suggestion to the Lord. The Lord need not surrender to anyone. But here, Lakshmana is teaching that how we should be thinking in the line of the Shastras. Why did Lakshmana did not give those bows and arrows, Chapamane, Saumitre, when it was asked, please bring me? He did not give any of those weapons. The reason is Lakshmana is thinking and our acharyas are writing. The first thought which crossed Lakshmana's mind was that this ocean is a byproduct of one of the ancestors of Lord Ramchandra, Sagar Maharaj. So this ocean is indebted, and it is one of the causes when Mother Ganges had to be searched for, and Asabanjas and Sagar and many others were involved in searching for the search of the horse, or also the search for Mother Ganges. In the story of Ganges, we hear the ocean lord Sagar, the ocean appeared. So Lakshmana is thinking that if Lord Ramchandra is shooting an arrow into the ocean, it is like shooting one of your own ancestors, Sagar. And what will the world think? The world will call Lord Ramchandra as somebody who is shooting against his own ancestors. This is not right. This is not true. And my Lord cannot have this bad name. This is perfect example of the ninth quality that we saw, which is called Sheshatvam, being the perfect servant, a servant acting for the highest benefit of his master. Saying, my Lord will get a bad name that if he shoots, that he is the one who torments against his own ancestors for his own purposes. To achieve his wife, he is ready to shoot an arrow on his own ancestor. So why would I? And he's furious. He's not going to understand now. So I better not enable him to do this sinful activity. So Lakshmana is thinking this is a sinful activity. Our acharyas mentioned one another reason why Lakshmana thought like this. He said, many miles from here, my younger brother Bharata, Rama's younger brother Bharata, is sitting in his ashram. He is having tears in his eyes and he is doing nice abhishek of the padukas. And he is waiting when Lord Ramchandra will be back. At that time, when he is having tears in his eyes, he is doing the worship of the padukas. He is taking a nice kalash. It has the water of Sarayu and he's pouring it over the padukas. And he's pouring it over the padukas, and the padukas are getting drenched, partially by his tears, partially by the waters of Sarayu. And these waters of the padukas are being collected by Bharata as Charana Amrita, as a Paduka Amrita, the nectar from the padukas. But so much are the tears of Bharata that they are constantly flowing from being away from his brother. So much is the viraha that he is constantly crying, and it is washing the padukas again and again, that some of these waters which is washing the padukas are going and mixing back into the Sarayu river. And this Sarayu river is containing that nectarian ambrosial waters of the padukas of Lord Ramchandra. And Sarayu river is coming and falling into the Bay of Bengal, into the ocean. So this great river, Sarayu, has the Charana Amrita, the Paduka Amrita. And that Paduka Amrita is now mixing into a larger container or the larger body of water, which is the Bay of Bengal. And that Bay of Bengal is right in front of us, the Indian Ocean. And that Bay of Bengal has merged into the Indian Ocean, and the Indian Ocean is right in front of us. So what we see in front of us is not just the ocean, it is the Paduka waters, the ambrosial waters of what Bharata is doing, the Abhishek, sitting out there. And that is our ultimate refuge. Not only the lotus feet, the dust of the lotus feet, the shelter of the lotus feet, the waters from the lotus feet is our ultimate shelter. We always mention that we should fall at the feet of the lotus feet of the Lord, but the padukas, which is actually below the lotus feet, it is the ultimate refuge. Who is the first person who has taken the ultimate refuge under the lotus feet? The padukas. And all the bhaktas who wants to fall at the feet of Lord Ramchandra has to fall below the padukas. And what is below the padukas? The ambrosial waters. And those waters are in front of us. How can we shoot an arrow? How, as a devotee, I can shoot an arrow? It is like saying somebody is coming and falling at the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Lord is taking a club himself and hitting on the head and saying, you can't fall at my lotus feet. This is not perfect surrender. So the Charana Amrita is right in front of us, and the Lord wants to shoot an arrow on it. I cannot allow. Chapamane Saumitre, bring my bows and arrows. I am not going to give him any bows and arrows. I'm going to give him small blunt objects by which even if he shoots, even if he executes his desire, it will not be fruitful. So this is a Lord devotee's mentality. And at that time, Lord Ramchandra says a very beautiful verse that I don't need any of these bows and arrows to kill Ravana. Angulya matrena, even if I think I want to kill a person right with my nails, I can kill a person. He said, I can kill a person immediately. I just need to desire. So the Lord can remove all our obstacles. The Lord can remove all the obstacles in a devotee's life. We just need to go before him and say, I am yours. I am yours, surrendering unto the lotus feet of the Lord. But greater are falling at the lotus feet of the Lord, are greater. The greatest thing is to fall at the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. But greater than that, the dust is captured by the padukas, falling at the padukas or the footwear of the Lord, because they are carrying the Lord themselves. Then what to speak about those devotees who are constantly attached to that footwear, falling at the lotus feet of those devotees? So such an act, when we do or when we follow those devotees who are constantly thinking the Lord as the ultimate refuge, the ultimate place of surrender, and consider that there is nobody else who can help, such great devotees, we should always be looking forward for their association. We should always look forward for such association, that we get their blessings, their association, their help, their blessings, their good words, their time, so that we can also develop this quality. This quality is not achieved by one's own merit. This quality is achieved when we do number 11 properly. Number 11 leads to number 12. All these are not individual in nature, all these secrets. So one has to do 11 very, very sincerely. One has to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the devotees, to develop this internal resolute faith that there is nobody else than the Lord. And how do you learn that? Not by one's own free will. It doesn't come out in the heart one day. Oh, this is a tattva I have heard in the class and I have heard it. From today, I have to develop it. No, it will be just theoretical. To learn it practically, we have to follow like how Ramanujacharya did. What did he do? He went to Sri Shailapurna and followed his instructions. Became the servant of the servant. Tava bhritta bhritta paricharaka bhritta bhrittasya bhrittasya itimam smaram lokanatha. The 7 times we learned last week that how in the Mukundamala Stotra one is saying, become a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. So once when a person becomes a servant of the 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 servant, then one develops this by looking in their hearts. We are successful by looking in the heart of those devotees, that they find Krishna as the ultimate protector. Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe khe. And this is mentioned even in Vedanta Deshika in one of the shlokas called as Kamasikashtakam. The same Rakhe Krishna mare Krishna rakhe khe. He says for Lord Nrsimhadev, Lord Nrsimhadev, if you don't protect, who will protect? And if Nrsimhadev, if you want to kill, who can protect? So if somebody wants to kill us and the Lord is protecting, there is nobody on this entire cosmic manifestation who can kill us, because the Lord himself is protecting. Rakhe Krishna Marike, one who is protecting. Krishna is protecting us, who can kill us? But at the same time, if the Lord wants to kill, okay, time's up. It's time to finish this person off. Who in the entire cosmic manifestation can protect? Nobody can protect. So Lord Nrsimhadev is there for ultimate protection. He's ready to protect the devotees. The only thing we need is that we should accept agatitvam. We should accept that there is no other refuge other than the Lord. If we think the Lord is also going to surrender, the Lord is exhibiting that the surrender should be to the right person, for the right cause, and executed in the right manner. All these 3 failed when Lord Ramchandra tried to surrender to the ocean Lord, because Vibhishana suggested so. So it is seen as a failure in Sharanagati because it was not offered to the right person. And we have seen in the previous class, devotees have mentioned, Another place where such a failure happened was when Dasharatha also tried to surrender to Parashuram. The desire was not fulfilled, the result was not achieved. The result Lord Ramchandra wanted to obtain was to cross over the ocean. It did not happen until he had to take a weapon in his hand. So, like this way, we learn the 12th, the most important of the rahasyas amongst the next 6. Today, we learned only one, but I wanted to spend good time understanding that no other refuge other than the Lord. This is a very important subject matter. So we understand here that these 12 rahasyas, the first 6 are the prerequisites. The second 6 are the way to do surrender. So the second 6 let us know how we should surrender. So any guesses what the other 6 are? So if this is prerequisites, this is how to do it. What should be the other 6? Anybody has a guess? Not all the 6. What is the category?
The process, Prabhu.
Process is here. How to, which is out here. What should be the next 6?
Result.
Before, now, and then what?
Whom to?
Sorry, a little louder.
After whom to surrender?
Whom to surrender also we have heard here. Lord
The
Rama is the
result
supreme
of
goal.
Result of surrender.
Result of it. Okay, I'll say once more. Okay, somebody saying result. Whom to surrender? Lord Rama, we have already seen. Answer is given. Before surrender, what you should do. During surrender, what you should do and how to do. And now?
After surrender.
That's it. After surrender, how should we live? Because after surrendering, we have to also live in that manner. The next 6 secrets we'll talk from Ramayana is how to live post surrender. In fact, this 18 rahasyas, if somebody gets to know, this is the life of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava will start by knowing the knowledge of the Vedas, and slowly he will learn the prerequisites of the surrender. He will start surrendering, and after surrendering, after following up to step 12, he should know now surrender has happened. I have fallen at the feet of the Lord. Now there is still some karma left in this lifetime alone. How should I live? What should be my activity? How should I really conduct myself? Whether I should leave all the material things, or should I live and dovetail my material activities? How to live? Whom to ask for help? How do we go forward? What should I eat? What should I think? How should I act? What is my life going to be? All these are the next 6 for which we will tune in the next time, in the next class. Thank you very much. This is called post Sharanagati, that after Sharanagati, how our activities are going to be. So, yadatra skalitam kinchit vidvam satpurayantu tad, yadatra saushtubam kinchit tad gurur eva me nahi. Whatever errors are there in the service, may the learned souls, like all of you Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, please protect me and please correct me, because there are so many errors, and all those errors are truly mine. And whatever good is found here in this rendition of the 12th secret of Ramayana, whatever good you found, all that belongs to my Guru, belongs to Srila Prabhupada, belongs to all the Acharyas, and belongs to everyone else who have contributed in giving this knowledge, parampara over parampara, and bringing it to us. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there are any questions, comments, critiques, feedbacks, we can definitely discuss. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Haridas Varya Prabhuji, thank you for a very, very beautiful class. Thank you for the beautiful reflections and how you explained this 12th secret in depth. You explained us about the first secrets and the importance, and how it is important for one to understand them as the prerequisites of surrender. And the next 6 are how to surrender. And then the next secrets would be what to do after surrendering. Very, very beautiful class. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Devotees, we open the forum for any questions or realizations. Please go ahead at this time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Ajay Govind Das here, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Yes, Ajay Govind.
Ashram. I've got a chance to talk to you earlier. I've been hopefully listening this Ramayana series, which you are giving in very beautifully. My realization is that the way you are conveying the Ramayana and taking out the hidden rahasyas, it doesn't seems like we are talking anything outside of Krishna consciousness, because most of the times when people hear Ramayana Katha, it's like a different pastime and different kathas as compared to what you hear in Bhagavatam from Krishna. But you have linked it so well and put it in a very beautiful way, which seems like that Krishna and Ram are not different, not just because you read different stories in different eras and different pastimes, but they are still the same. So that's something which I have observed and wanted to share to you. So that's a very job well done, I'll say. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Ajay Govind Prabhu, for your kind words. I am just repeating and presenting what our acharyas have given. And it's a very wonderful realization which is blossoming in your heart, which is to say that, yes, the Lord is non-different, be he Lord Krishna or Lord Rama. This is the benefit of our acharya's words. I am just repeating them, but this is a very nice realization. Thank you so much for sharing it with all of us. I wish that one day I also get such a realization. Thank you very much, Prabhu. There's no effort of mine. It is all the acharyas. But thank you for your kind words.
Prabhu, but yeah, we all hear, but you have conveyed it and grasped in a very well way. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you. Yes, Prahladananda Prabhu. My Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna. You're on mute, Prabhuji.
Haribol, Prabhuji. Can you
Hare
hear me?
Krishna.
Haribol.
Yes, I can hear you, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat.
Such a nice conclusion you have brought us today. And the slok which came into my mind is Anasaktasya Visayan Yatharham Upayunjate Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. So, after we surrender and like that, this is the way we should live, Anasaktasya Visayan, and then doing everything in connection with Lord Sri Krishna. So that was a beautiful conclusion and the climax of your today's lecture. So I'm so grateful for that. And second thing, realization. If you allow me to speak, this pertains to my own experience. Should I say or?
Please go ahead, Prabhuji. Please go ahead.
Prabhuji, you were giving this example of a new MBBS guy. This was so funny because I started doing that in 1981 in a small suburb of city of Nairobi, and that's where the climax. I mean, the experience is exactly parallel with you are saying like that. That how to treat new practice are like that. What I used to do was I used to get some patients who are better financially and some are poor who have no money. So I would send those people who can afford lab tests and other things and get the sensitivity of the infection by doing the culture and sensitivity, and apply that knowledge to those who cannot afford that lab services and other kind of thing. So this is so nice an example that you gave about Vibhishan, how he was like a new MBBS doctor. Another thing is, as you said that how Lord approaches somebody who is sincere in approaching and surrendering into him. And this exactly happened to me. I was in that small town, and one day I saw on a city bus, which used to come from city of Nairobi, the bill was on that city bus, the advertisement was chant and be happy. I was I said, in a small town in Africa, who is doing this chanting beyond? I had no idea whatsoever. And then I found out that there's a temple in Nairobi where they are doing Krishna consciousness and all that. They said, you send some donation and we'll send you a book. So I sent a small donation and they send me a book and a jap mala like that. So this is a beautiful way Lord Sri Krishna, reciprocates with someone who has little desire to approach him. And so this was so appropriate. You have illustrated today like that. So I'm so sorry I had to say all my life experience, but it was so pertaining. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, again. Haribol.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. On the first one that you mentioned about anasaktasya vishayan, it's very wonderful because it's very natural that now how we are supposed to live. The first is Virakti, which we are going to learn, and that is on the principle anasaktasya vishayan. So it's very natural that Krishna is revealing in the hearts of the devotees. They already know what these secrets are because Srila Prabhupada has been so merciful to give us all these secrets. And very nice to hear from you, your own practical realizations, and happy that the examples struck a bell with you, because Sri Radha Banke Bihari ji, who is the greatest deities in Nairobi temple, whom I had the pleasure of visiting them, they're so merciful. And I'm very happy that you could take darshan and they could be of great help in your life, Prahladana Prabhu. Thank you for letting me know about the same. Hare Krishna. Anybody else has any questions, comments, feedbacks?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a beautiful class. Thoroughly relished every single thing that you said. The beautiful Sharanagati, the trust tried by Lord Ram. Super failure. Very nicely described by you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I enjoyed the class a lot. Just wanted to thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before the devotees. So just if there are no other questions, I just wanted to... Yes, go ahead. Please, somebody has a question.
Go ahead. I'll ask
No,
later.
Mataji, go ahead. Go ahead with your question. No problem. I wanted to conclude with something. Yes.
Oh, okay. No, Prabhuji, I was just thinking that you mentioned about one of the unsuccessful Sharanagati in Ramayana, that how Lord Rama did to ocean god. But are there any other unsuccessful Sharanagati in Ramayana which you want to touch upon, or you will be touching in future sessions?
One I touched upon was also Dasharatha to Parashuram, which was also not successful. There are one or two more, one from Uttarakhand as well, which I'll be touching in the upcoming lectures.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji. Yeah, just want to. Wonderful session, Prabhu, as usual. We look forward for your wonderful classes, insightful classes, amazing classes, awesome classes. I can
All
go.
glories to Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the wonderful. So generally it is nowadays, it is a trend that those who stick till the end, they get some more nectar. That means we see nowadays, I have heard that in the movies and other, they have a post-credits roll where they show something at the end of the lecture. So those who are stuck till now, just wanted to leave with a little bit of nectar, because it's very grateful that you're giving your time. So the what great present I can give other than the glories about the Lord. So those who are stuck with us till now, I wanted to just take 2 minutes and give this nectar of, yes, it's like post scenes, like behind the scenes, or this is post credits. So just about that past time when the ocean lord appeared in front of Lord Ramchandra, he brought a lot of gifts. He brought a lot of pearls, necklaces, jewels, lapis lazuli, and he said, it took me some time to collect all these and I wanted to keep it in front of you. I was thinking, how will I appear? And this tattva will become very solidified that the wrong person is falling at my feet. In fact, I should be falling at the feet of yours. So hence I was waiting, when will be the time you will be ready to punish and I can fall at the feet. The second is, when the Lord is ready to punish, if you fall at the feet, then the Lord is very merciful. He is like a father or a mother. So the Lord is holding the arrow and the bow in his hand and he's about to shoot. The ocean Lord appears. Alligators appear, the whales jump over, the beautiful dolphins are jumping, the sky high waves are crashing, tumultuous sound, an entire white froth is seen on the shores, the crustaceans are moving, The crabs are moving around, the fishes are falling through the waves, and everyone is awe and astonishment. The sun is shining, and the mist and the blue waters crashing from the ocean, they are mixing, those droplets are mixing on that sunshine and touching the skin of Lord Ramchandra. His fatigue is slowly going away because he's being sprinkled with slight breeze of ocean water, but still his anger is intact. He's holding the bow and he's about to shoot. At that time, the Ocean Lord says, please shoot this somewhere else. And the Lord says, I have to shoot this arrow. Tell me, where should I shoot? He said, somebody in the west, 3,200 kilometers away from here, they are misutilizing my waters. Why don't you shoot your arrow there? The Lord looks eastwards, shoots an arrow. The arrow goes eastwards, turns 180 degrees, goes westwards, and falls at the Ran of Kutch, or falls even at the Thar desert. And the whole place dries up and it becomes a desert. And those tribes are vanquished. At this point of time, the acharyas say, this is cheating. This is the biggest cheating the Lord is doing. And everybody says, why are you calling this a cheating? He said, Lord is standing in Rameshwaram, Tirupollani, and he is shooting an arrow 3,200 kilometers away near Ran of Kutch or the Thar desert. His arrow is interballistic. It can go so far away. He cannot shoot an arrow from here and kill Ravana 32 kilometers away in Sri Lanka. He is just playing the fool. He is the supreme lord of the entire universe. This breaks the character of Lord Ramchandra. Hence, we should surrender unto him. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So let's not be fooled by certain pastimes of the Lord. The Lord is the Lord himself. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Prabhu. Dandat pranam. So nice, Prabhu, as usual. Koti dandat pranam, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Ajay Prabhuji, Parlananda Prabhuji, Priti Mataji, and Kirti Sundari Mataji for sharing your beautiful realizations. In the chat, Prabhuji, Sumi Mataji, Parima Mataji, Yashomati Mataji, Anita Mataji, and Anita Gandharika Mataji are thanking you for a very, very beautiful class. Dear devotees, once again, I would like to thank His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji for his valuable time and beautiful association and very, very beautiful class. Looking forward to next Friday, Prabhuji, for your association.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Next is the final 6, so please don't mix. This is the last final ultimate climax 6 rahasyas. Please don't miss them. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Dear devotees, if there are no more questions or realizations, I would like to pay my obeisances to His Grace Haridas Varya Prabhuji and all the assembled devotees on the call. Do I have your permission to close the call, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Vancha
Krishna.
kalpatarubhya
Vancha
kalpasindhubhya
Vaishnavyo
Vaishnavyo
Namo.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Prabhuji ki Jai.
Jai.
Haridas Varya Prabhuji ki
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class as always. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.